So today we are looking at the Deepin 23 Linux. So this is the stable ISO file released a few minutes ago. So as soon as the ISO file is released, I am making a video. So let's try the Deepin 23 desktop. I hope this is a live boot. And I'm running it on a virtual machine, which is a VMware with 60 GB of hard disk, 8 GB of RAM, and my CPU is i5 1240p. So I never tried the live boot of the Deepin Linux. I tried the XTX Linux, Deepin Linux, Deepin desktop environment, but I never tried the Deepin Linux 23 live boot. So it's going to take like maybe 2 or 3 minutes. Usually the Linux distro will boot that much of time. It consumes that much of time in my PC. But the Deepin Linux is right now is a live boot. So I don't know how much of time it's going to take. As soon as the desktop is loaded or the desktop environment is loaded, I'm going to mention how much of time it consumed. So as you can see, here is the language selection. I'm going to choose the English. So it took like a 1.5 minutes or 2 minutes to get this screen. So there are plenty of languages available right here. So when you scroll it down, you should be seeing all the languages available right here. And now I'm going to click on next. And here is the select keyboard layout. I'm going to choose the default one and I'm going to click on next. And here is the time zone. So choose the time zone. I'm choosing the Los Angeles. You can choose the drop down menu. And also you can choose the map. You can reset it. So click on next. So it says configuring your computer. It's going to take a few minutes here. So it took just like a few seconds. Let's see what happens next. So this is a new thing for me because we always installed the Deepin Linux on the virtual disk but never tried the live boot. So it will be a different experience for me too. So I need to see how much of resources it consumes. Usually the Deepin Linux will be consuming a lot of resources, and also I tried in the bare metal and also on the virtual disk. So it has a lot of hardware. It's going to consume a lot of resources usually, but let's see how much resources it consumes as soon as it's booted up. So as you can see, I am seeing the mouse cursor, and right now we see the Deepin wallpaper. So it took almost like maybe 3 minutes or 4 minutes. So it didn't take that much of time to load up, but let's see how it performs. So this ISO file was released like maybe 30-35 minutes ago. So as soon as the ISO file is released, I am making a video. So here is a video. I don't want to watch a video, but let's click on next. So choose a desktop mode. I'm going to align center. Click on next and choose a running mode. So here is the effect and here is the normal mode. I'm choosing the normal mode, and also you can switch it in the control center, personalization, window effect. And I'm going to click on next. So here you can choose an icon theme. Usually I'm going to choose this one. So I think there are themes here, icons. So this one looks pretty good, but there is also other options here. You can choose the organic glass and also the hazy color, macaron, and bloom, flow, everything. So I'm going to choose the square and click on done. You can change it whenever you want. Before changing the display settings, I'm going to show you the system monitor. Let's check the system monitor. So everything is opening instantly, so that's a good thing. But if you ask me whether you recommend this Linux distro for you, but I am not going to say anything because it's clearly up to you to decide whether to use this Linux distro or not. I'm not going to say anything about this Linux distro because I don't clearly know anything about this Linux distro. I made a lot of videos, but I never recommended this type of Linux distros. I don't say anything. So it's clearly up to you to judge whether to use this Linux distro on your main PC or work PC. So right now it's consuming 1.5 GB of RAM and the CPU is here, and also other information like the network and disk write and read speed, all those things right here. So here are all the services, as you can see. So I didn't open anything, just the basic things as soon as the Linux distro is loaded. So these are all the resources and applications running in the background. So here is the process, here is the CPU. Let's check the about, and also you can change the themes. You already know which is always available in the Deepin. So I'm going to put the system monitor here, and first of all let's change the display settings. So there is a good animation in the background. So I'm saying everything according to my PC, because I have like a 8 GB of RAM, so it should be running pretty much smoothly. But I don't say that will be same thing in the if you have like a low-end PC. So it's clearly up to you to judge. System information, it says Deepin. Version you get is a 23, and the edition is a community 23. And also the processor, CPU, and all those things are as you can see here. And graphics platform is a X11, and the kernel version you get is a 6.6.40. So the release candidate of a 6.11 is available in the Linux kernel website, and also the latest stable version is a 6.10 Linux kernel. So if you don't know, that's the information I'm giving you. So let's check the about. Here is the information. I'm going to keep the system monitor in the right side corner. So I will be doing this type of things in every video, so you can see all the changes throughout the video and decide whether to use this Linux distros or not. So I'm going to open the application grid. Here is the all the applications which comes pre-installed in the version 23. I'm going to open the browser. Let's open the browser, and let's go to the official website and see what are the changes. So you already know all the changes throughout the Deepin 23 video, like a beta version, release candidate version. I made a tons of videos of Deepin Linux, so it's clearly up to you to decide whether to install it or not. So the ISO file was released a few hours ago, so I am not going to recommend it to you to right away install this Linux distro, but it's better to always wait. As soon as the ISO files are released, never install it on the main PC or work PC. If you already have the good running PC, it's better to wait for a few days and then go with the installation. Most of my viewer never say they will like or they installed the Deepin Linux on their PCs, but some users will be wanting to try some things. But if you want to try it, you can try it in the virtual machines, and also the live boot is also available. If you want to try it, you can try it. But none of my users never said that they love the Deepin Linux, but I don't know why. So it's clearly up to them because they have their own opinion. So let's try the Deepin as the search term, and the official website will be right away here, which is the first link, Deepin Linux. So you can try it in the live boot and also the virtual machine. So try it on your own, and let me know in the comment section whether it was running smoothly or not. So here is the official website. Let's click on the news, and let's wait. I don't know, there is some time consuming here. So here are all the information, like a Deepin version 23 information. Let's click on this one. As you can see, it's released on the August 15th. So let me show you that. Let me go up, and you should be seeing the date here, August 15, 2024. Let's click on read more, and here it says system repositories. Here is all the information, and also atomic updates, and the desktop environment and other information is right here. So here is all the information: cross device collaboration, cloud sync, UOS AI. So here are some changes. Deepin home. So new features pre-installed Sogu input method in the Chinese environment. I don't know what it is. Optimized. So you can just read it from here, or else you can just go to the official website and read everything on your own. So this is a lot of tons of changes available right here. I don't know whether it's useful or not, but it's clearly up to you. So these are all the changes in the app stores, others, and linear apps. And system monitor fixed the issue where the system monitor displayed multiple processes for the same application. So they have fixed a lot of things here, and also the new features are right here, pre-installed and all those things. So I'm going to show most of the important things which a normal user want to see. So I'm going to do that. New release. Let me show you the download. So when you click on the download, you should be going with the new release and you should be seeing the ISO file here. So ARM devices and long arch, RISC and all those things are available right here. So in order to download in a speedway, it's better to go with the Google Drive. So I'm going to open the Google Drive and click on download. It says something like quota exceeded. So as you can see, download quota exceeded for this file. So when you logged in the Google Chrome, it will automatically download without any issues. So try to log in your account in the Google first and then go with the Deepin Linux website and then go with the downloads, or else you can just copy the link and you can't copy. I'm not going to provide any links in the description, but it's better to go and search like a Deepin Linux in the Google search with the account logged in, and it will allow you to download from the Google Drive. If you have a good internet speed, it will be good for downloading in the Google Drive. But when you go with the official mirrors, it's going to be a bit slow, because I tried most of the times the ISO files were downloading pretty much slowly. So that's the reason I always go with the Google Drive, and also the Google Drive is trusted. And also always try to check all those things before downloading the ISO files, and always try it in the live boot or the virtual machines, and always try to get all the information on your own. Don't try to blindly watch someone's videos. Even it's me, don't watch blindly and try to install the Linux distro on your main PC or work PC. You need to get all the information on your own, because it's your PC. You need to be responsible for that. So that was the downloading process and all those things. New releases and features were available. So you can just read it from here, or else you can just go to the official website and read everything on your own. I'm going to close the browser and let's check the pre-installed applications. So you get a bunch of bloatware applications here, as you can see, from the Deepin Linux and also from the Deepin desktop environment. So you get a bunch of applications here. I don't know whether it's useful or not, but you get a lot of applications here. So here is the installation. I'm going to show you the installation process, but I'm not going to install because I don't want to. So here is the language selection, same as the live boot. Here is the installation methods. You can go with the full disk, custom and advanced. You can do whatever you want. On the custom, you can choose here, and also full disk. If you want, you can choose this one. The free disk space is lesser than the 64 GB. So I choose the 60 GB, but you need more. So you need like a 80 GB to run this Linux distro, but the minimum requirements or the recommended requirements of the Deepin Linux will be more. It says like a 120 GB or something like that. So you need to first get all those things and install it. And also there will be complicated in the installation. There will be some basic things. And also I think it kicked out from the Linux distro, so I need to run the Linux distro again. So I don't know, for some reason it just throwed us completely. It shut it down. So I'm going to live boot again. So these are some of the funny things happens in the Deepin Linux. So that's the reason you need to always get all the information on your own and try to install the Linux distro. Don't blindly watch someone's video and try to install this Linux distro on your PC and try to ruin your PC. It's better always to try it in the live boot. So that was a funny thing, because when you close the installer, most of the Linux distro will just close the installer and it will allow to use as the live boot. But in this case, it's completely closed, almost like a throwed out to the virtual machine. So again, it's going to take a lot of time, so I'm not going to talk here anything. Just I'm going to trim this part because it will be a waste of time to talk. So let's wait and see. So here we are back with again the language selection. Let's click on next. So I'm going to choose the Los Angeles. Next. And it's going to take a few seconds, and we are greeted with the Linux desktop or the Deepin desktop again. So I'm not going to trim anything other than the some booting process, because I'm going to give you the honest review of this Linux. So I'm going to show you the things will be happening by using Deepin Linux. So it's clearly up to you to judge whether to use this Linux distro or not. So right now we are seeing a mouse cursor, and we should be greeted with the Linux desktop now. So it is taking a lot of time to boot. So in the first time it was like maybe 2 or 3 minutes, but right now it's taking a lot of time. I'm going to trim that part so you don't need to get bored of that thing. So here we are with the desktop again after unexpectedly closing the distro. I don't know why the installation closed and tried to boot on the, it completely closed and it went to the VMware again. I tried to boot it again, so I'm not going to do all those settings, so I'm going to keep it as the default this time. So let's first change the display settings by going to display settings, and here we have some things. So it's going to take a lot of time, I guess. So I tried to choose the display setting, but it's taking a lot of time. So let's change the display settings. Here we have the display, and here is the system information which I already mentioned. So here is the Deepin ID. If you want, you can sign in, but I don't recommend you to sign in anything. You can create with some temporary emails and provide those things, but never provide the actual emails or the Gmail accounts. So it will be a good option to not to do that. Here is the display. Here is the default applications. So these are all the same things we saw in all the previous release candidate and all the beta versions and all those things. So it's a waste of time. So under the personalization, here are the icons. Here are the icons, and the desktop is right here. Let's go to themes and accent color, icon theme. You can customize according to your wish. Let's cancel. Here are the cursor theme. You can scroll it down and choose whatever you want. Here are the text settings, fonts, and all those things. So it's not worthy to show everything here. So here is the network and the notifications. If you want to turn off, you can turn off. It's clearly customizable, so I'm not going to show everything here. So let's go to the sound. It's taking a bit of time here. So as you can see, it just frozen right here. So let's wait and see whether it is going to work or not. I don't know, but we need to wait. So here is the workspace, and I can't do anything. Let's try to close, and also I can't close this. I can't it automatically minimized, so that's a good thing. And still it's completely frozen right here. At least it's minimizing. Let's see the applications. So it's really in the background, so I'm not going to do anything. Let me keep it and wait for a few seconds here. Let's see, and also let's wait for a few minutes. Whether it's going to take a minute, so I'm going to wait for that. And also these are all the applications you get. I don't think there will be nothing other than these applications. So these are all the applications available from the Deepin Linux. I don't know, so they mentioned as a Sogu, something like that. Let's open and see what it is. I think it's going to take a few seconds here, so let's wait. So it's in a different language. I don't know what it is, but the version is right here. When you install it on the virtual disk, or if you try to install it on the main PC or work PC, it's clearly up to you. But try to choose the languages there, because there will be most of the things will be in the Chinese or some other language, I don't know. So the Deepin Linux is from the Chinese, so there will be most of them will be in the Chinese language. So it's better to change it to English so you can easily use it for that. So here you can see date and time, and the action center or the quick actions. Here is the volume, and here is the brightness. Let's open the system monitor, and the theme is auto. Here is the record, here is the screen, do not disturb mode. So it's not working properly. As you can see, when I opened like system monitor, it didn't open, and also it's going to take a lot of time. So this is a stable release and we already have a lot of issues. So I faced this type of issues, but I don't know how it performs on your PC. And I have like a 8 GB of RAM, and my CPU is the i5 1240p. So I have the latest CPU also, and these are all the things happening. So still the settings is not properly usable. I can't even close, but I can close it in the system monitor. Let me close it. Let's try to open it again. And here we have. So I can end the process in the system monitor, but if you don't know how to do that, then you need to you should be stuck with that frozen screen. So most of nowadays user will be almost closing the application in the system monitor because they are using the operating system properly. So they know how to use this type of things when the applications are just frozen on the screen. So they know how to deal with these things. So already saw the system information. So let's go with the general settings, keyboard and language. So there will be same things, so there is nothing complicated here. So most of the time in the previous version there was like some Chinese languages, but in this case there is most of them are from the English. So also when you trying to live boot, you can select your language, so that's a good option. So most of the users will be using the English languages. After opening the UOS AI, it opened right now. I clicked like maybe 2 or 3 minutes ago, but right now it's opened. So I don't know, it's an AI. So let's try to type some things like I don't really remember what to type, but let's check the chat GPT. Here enter. UOS AI requires an AI model account to be configured before it can be used. Please configure. Let's go to the configuration. I confirm. I agree to participate in the user experience. I'm not going to do that. Let's click on OK. So here is some of the options. I think I'm going to choose the default. So it says API key required. I'm not going to do everything here, so I'm just going to close this thing. So you can't even use these things like a Deepin system assistant. Let's try this one. Let's try the chat GPT. So I don't know what to type, so I'm randomly typing some things. And also it says UOS AI requires an AI model account to be configured before it can be used. Please configure a model A account first. So I'm not going to do anything here because I want to keep most of things default. So let's go with the time and format. Nothing changed, everything is same. Mouse, you can customize your mouse. Here is the power. I'm running it on the laptop, so I'm plugged in. Here is the sound. So even in the previous before we are on the sounds, it was just completely frozen, and as you can see again it happened. When you go and click on the sound, it's going to froze the screen like this. You can't do anything here. You just need to just keep it quiet like that, and you need to wait for it. I don't know how much of time it's going to take, so I'm just going to end the process because we don't want to waste our time just keeping it like that. So this is then another issue. So these are all the issues I'm facing in my PC. So if you want to try it, you can try it. Always try it in the live boot or in the virtual machine. Don't even blindly install this Linux distros on the main PC or work PC. because as soon as the ISO files are released, never try to install on the main PC or work PC. That's good advice from most of the users and also from me. So here is the screensaver and here are all the wallpapers. So I'm going to choose this one and I'm going to click on both and it's going to change. So what else we left here, like a file manager. Let's try to open a bunch of applications and see whether this distro will handle the stress test. So basically a stress test is like opening a bunch of applications which consumes a bit of resources to see whether this Linux distro will handle day-to-day tasks. So you need to first check how much of system requirements this Linux distro needs and then try to install it, because if you have like a 1 GB of RAM or 2 GB of RAM, I don't really think it's going to work or use smoothly. So there will be a not so smooth experience when you have like a low-end PC. If I have like a 8 GB of RAM and i5 1240p CPU, and right now the CPU, as you can see, it's consuming 95 to 100%. And also you need to ignore because there are applications opening in the background. Let's wait all the applications open and let's see the CPU again. Because when you open all the applications at once, so it's going to consume a lot of resources. So that's the reason it's better to wait for a few seconds after all the applications are opened. Let's see how much of resources it consumes. So right now it's almost 2.7 GB of RAM and also 75% of CPU. So it's pretty much 50%, it's on top of the 50%, so it's not low. So for some reason the browsers are like this, like 3 browsers are opened. So these are all the applications. So these are not the high resource consuming applications, just the Brave, not the Brave browser, it's just the browser and some desktop environments, media files like a music player, the terminal and the file manager and an app store. So this is not like a Blender and also Krita, GIMP. I didn't open this type of applications which consumes a lot of resources, but we just opened the basic Linux distros applications like a text editor, music player and also calendar, terminal. So it's consuming 2.7 GB just for this. And also the CPU is pretty much unstable right now. It's going down to 14%. It went up to 95%. So I don't know what to say about this Linux distro, but that's the reason I always say it's clearly up to you to judge whether to use it or not. So I'm saying all those things which is happening in my PC. So it's clearly up to you. So these are all the applications running in the background. So we don't have a bit of resource consuming applications. We just have the LibreOffice. And also there was a minor lag there, so it was not a smooth experience. And also the applications are taking a lot of time to open, so that's an issue. So we don't have any applications which consumes a lot of resources, but if we had like a GIMP and the Krita, Blender and this type of applications will exactly say whether to use this Linux distros or not, because those applications will consume a lot of resources. And as soon as we open those applications, like 2 or 3 applications, so the unstable Linux distros will be like not responding, or will be some bugs, or just froze on the screen with a black screen, or sometimes with the applications open like that. So these things will happen and we can easily judge on those things whether to decide whether to use those Linux distros or not. So CPU is like this. So I'm going to switch the application and see whether there is a smooth transition here. So as you can see, everything is opening instantly. So that's no issue when switching the applications. LibreOffice. So while switching the applications, there is no issue, but when you go to the control center and click on the sound, it's going to just freeze the screen without doing anything. You can't choose other options in the control center. So that was one issue. And also when you stop in the middle of installation and close the installer, it's going to throw you out to the VMware application, because it's going to shut it down completely instead of going to the live boot desktop. So that's one the issue. Also there is 2 issues I found in this video. So you need to install for a smooth experience. Maybe I don't really think that will be a good idea, because and also the ISO file is released a few minutes ago. I don't really can't say anything also, because sometimes most of the time there will be no issue, but sometimes some Linux issues has the issues. Even if it's a stable ISO file, you should be having issues. So that's the reason it's always a good option to wait like a week or maybe 10 days. If you already have a good working PC, it's better to wait like a 7 or 10 days. It's a good option, because I don't want you to ruin your PC. That's the reason. So we also saw all the like about applications. So let's check all the applications. So here is the version. I think it's not based on the Chrome, but I don't know what it's based. But let's close it. Close the browser. Click OK. Here is the file manager. So there is hiccups here and there when moving the applications. So you need to consider this thing also. There is no smooth experience. Here is the Deepin 23. Let's check the version. So in the beginning the experience was smooth, but right now it's terrible. I don't know why. Let's close the applications. Here is the App Store. Here is the App Store, which is 8.0.7 open source. I think you can install the applications from here. Let's try to do that. Let's search. Here is the Thunderbird. Let's open it. Let's see how it looks. So here is the App Store. Here are the images. Let's find the version. So here are the ratings. Here is some of the information, and here you can see the version and also the file size. So if you want to install, you can install it here. So it says type as the Deepin desktop environment. I don't know. I can't even click on anything here. So here is the downloads. If you want to see the downloads, you can install and go check on the downloads. Here are the categories. You can go with the categories, or you can just search it here. For example, VLC. So when I typed in, it's also taking a lot of time. So there is like a milliseconds as when you type on your keyboard. So it's not instantly. So it took like a 2 milliseconds, not 2 milliseconds. It took like a 2 seconds after typing. And also the App Store is taking a lot of time again. You can install it here. Here are the images or the screenshots. And in the background something happened. Package cache wiped. Here are the updates. So there will be some notification sounds, so you need to remember that also. So UOS AI, you can install it. Let's open the application. So here is the AI tool, and in the background something happened here. I don't know what it is, but it is in a different language. I think it's Chinese. So you can install it right here. Here are the ratings and here are the information. And they already have the 10K, 100K downloads, 3 stars. I don't know who downloaded it, but it's okay. Because the ISO file is released, maybe the downloads are from the beta version or the release candidates. I never saw this in the beta version, but I don't. To be honest, I really don't remember, but you can watch in my videos. There are already videos available in the beta version of 23 and release candidate also. So this is the stable ISO file, and also there are a lot of issues which I already mentioned. So it's clearly up to you to decide whether to use it or not. I'm going to close the application. So let's check the music player version. Here is the version 6.2.40. Let's close it. Let's click on exit, confirm. Here is the text editor. Let's check the version. And you should be seeing every application with the 6 numbers starting. Here is the calendar. Let's check the about 5.14.5. So calendar was available in the previous version also. Here is the email account. So I think you need to provide the email account. Here are the option for the mail. So instead of this, you can use the Thunderbird. So most of the users are not happy with the Supernova version, but it's clearly up to you to choose whatever email client you want. I'm going to close this application. So we have left with the LibreOffice. Let's check the version. So here it is in the Chinese version because I didn't choose the English language, but I tried to choose the English language in the live boot, but you need to choose everything in the English so you can see everything in English. The version we can see is 24.2.0.3. So when you are using in the live boot, try to configure everything in English language if you know English language, but if you know the other languages, you can select those things. So most of the users will be using English, so I'm going to close this. So what else we left here with the terminal. So let's check like a NeoFetch and all those things. So most of the time nothing is pre-installed in the Deepin Linux, but let's see in the 23 version 6.0.14 INXI. So here is the version. Let me try to change the color so you can properly see. Let's go to the settings. So it's clearly different here. Let's go with the terminal. I think interface, blur background. Let's check the colors here. Terminal, cursors, shell. So I'm going to keep this thing like that. I hope you can see everything right here. So let's try the INXI -b. So here you can see the host as a Deepin kernel, which I already mentioned in the beginning. Distro, it says Deepin 23 bytes. Desktop Deepin. Here is the virtual machine information. Here is my complete CPU information, like display is X11, server Xorg 1.21.1.10, XVLAN version 23.2.6, VMWGFX version is 2.20, and here are the process running right now. I already mentioned I'm using 60 GB of virtual disk for my VMware. Here is the RAM. Uptime is almost 23 minutes. And bash version or the INXI version is 3.3.31. So let me type in INXI -F. So here you should be seeing again the other information like a version. Here is the CPU information, and also the audio information is added right here. ELSA version, Pulse audio version 15.0. These are all the same information, so I'm not going to read everything. INXI-G. So here are the graphics information which I already read. So let's try the cat /etc/issue. So here it says Deepin new Linux 23. So let me type in NeoFetch. Hit enter. So command not found. So if you want to install the NeoFetch, you can install it on your own. So it's not pre-installed. INXI-SV8. So this command will grab complete distro information. So I'm going to show you every information. So you just need to type in this command to get all the information. So host kernel is already mentioned. So compiler GCC version is 13.2.0. And what else we have here is LightDM version is 1.30.0. So base is Debian unstable. So this is a stable ISO file, and it says based on the Debian unstable. So it's clearly up to you to decide whether to use this Linux distro or not. Here is the virtual machine information. Here is the memory, which I already mentioned. Let me scroll it down. CPU information is already mentioned. So here are the vulnerabilities. So as you can see, here are the vulnerabilities, complete information. Here is the graphics information. like available display resolutions, monitor settings and all those things. And also other information is right here, equivalent, which I already mentioned, so there is nothing right here. So just the display settings are available right here. When you scroll it down, you should be also seeing the audio information. Let me highlight for you. So Pipewire version 1.0.0. So here are other information. If you consider it as important, you can just pause the video and read everything on your own. So if you had the Bluetooth, you should be seeing also the Bluetooth information. Here is my drives, like a hard disk and all those things, like a partitions, USB. So you should be seeing all the information right in front of you. And also here are some other information, like a systemd version 255 and a GCC version 12.3.0. Bash version or the shell bash version is 5.2.21. So these are all the information from the commands or the terminal. So I'm going to close it. So I think we pretty much covered everything in this video. So I said my thoughts. It's clearly up to you to decide whether to use this Linux distro or not, or else you can choose any other Linux distros. If you consider watching another video, you can watch it in my channel, because I almost covered like a 3000 videos. You can decide whether to go with the lightweight Linux distros or this Linux distro or any other stable Linux distros. You can watch it in my channel. It's clearly up to you. So I said my final thoughts and I showed you what are the issues in the Deepin Linux. So you decide whether to use this Linux distro or not. I'm not going to say anything because most of my viewers are not happy with the Deepin Linux, but it's some of users will be happy with the Deepin Linux, so I don't have any issue with them. So it's clearly up to you. Some people have some issues, some people love these distros. It's clearly up to them and their PC is so always when you try to install any type of Linux distro, always get all the information from all the sources. Don't just watch the videos and try to install the Linux distro. Always get all the information on your own and decide. And also always try it in the live boot or in the virtual machines and decide whether to use this Linux distro or not. Try to use it for like 2 or 3 days and then decide. Because if you already have the main PC running good operating system with a stable operating system, don't try to ruin those things because just for the fancy things. If you already have the stable Linux distro, it's better to stay away from the fancy things or whatever because there will be some issues sometimes. So that's the reason I'm mentioning. But if you are a distro hopper, you already know what to do. If you want to try it, you can try it. So there is a new Linux version or the stable ISO file release. And also it's based on unstable Debian, so it's clearly up to you to judge. And at the end of the video, these are all the resources and processes running in the background. Let me show you this. So here are all the services running and here is the users. So I'm going to show you the logout screen and I'm going to end the video. Let me show you the logout screen. So it's going to take a few seconds. And also never save anything in the live boot, because as soon as you restart or reboot, it's going to erase everything. So that's the reason, never save anything in the live boot or in the virtual machine. And when you install it on the virtual disk, it's going to stay. So you need to get all the system requirements first and try this Linux distro. And also, as you can see, it's taking a lot of time. I don't think the logout screen or the login screen will be available right here. So I'm going to end the video here itself because it completely frozen with the screen here. So I am not seeing any login screen or the logout screen. So I'm going to end the video here. Again, if you like this video, you can subscribe or else you can do whatever you want. So thanks for watching. Peace out.